Salutations everyone, this is Razor bringing you guys a video here today talking about the looking for group system that was just added to the live client of Overwatch across all platforms and all different groups of people coming up together. So I did, quite a few number of hours for the finale of the season using this look for group feature. So it was pretty fun in that nobody could pick Symmetra. I wish that's how competitive always worked. But there's a lot of different things in this looking for group system. There's also the endorsements, which are just kind of nice. Hopefully when down the road, once everybody has had the maximum slotted amount of time to get the endorsement level that they should be having, whether it's 1, 2, or I think 3 is the highest, then maybe we'll using that number as a filter in our looking for group, will that start to make more of an impact than it is right now. Right now it's just just a little cherry on top that it gives us a way of rewarding our teammates instead, just hey, good job, your healing was amazing and you kept us up, and oh, you nailed that ultimate and that clutched out that fight. That's just kind of, or you switched when we needed you to switch, and that was super cool of you. So those are just kind of things that are nice to reward people, even if it doesn't mean a lot. But the looking for group feature was, the main aspect that we got to take a look at for the past day or so, and it was pretty neat. Now, a lot of people have been wanting this feature for a while. People have been wanting, a role queue, and this kind of fixes a lot of issues without restricting how people can play the game in any sense or fashion. If you are making your own group in your looking for group, you can decide what roles you want on the team, and you can decide to lock somebody into that role, because once you join the group, you say, all right, I'm going to take one of the healing slots, or one of the flex slots, or DPS slots, or tank slots, and the number of those slots depend on the person who creates the group and what they want to do. And you can also put in the description of your group, like, hey, looking to run triple support with Brigitte, or looking to run triple tank, or looking to run pharmacy because it's just so strong. So there's a lot of things that you could say that you're looking to do, and you can preferably lock people into that position so that they can't just queue up for healing and then just pick McCree and die a million times. That's kind of what we want to avoid. That's why this looking for group feature is so cool, because we don't have to worry about there not being somebody who picks a tank, for instance. So that's just one of those headaches that are kind of gone if you use this looking for group feature. And the groups fill up very fast, so you don't have to worry about that, unless of course you're at a very high SR to where there's not that many people of your ranking bracket available to play. So that thing isn't going to be changing. But for the most part, these queues fill up very quickly, and you could select it to be you need to have a mic, or you could lock people into those roles, and those are all very, very nice features to give you the playing experience that you kind of want. Now, using this looking for group, obviously most people are looking for 6 stacks. You can queue up, you could roll queue for not a 6 stack, you could just look for a group of 3 or 4 or whatever. So, that's also nice. You're not completely locked to a 6 stack where, there's just kind of like more randomness in what kind of people may or may not be joining your games. But most people are looking for 6 stack because that way they have complete control over what kind of players that are joining them, as much as you can in this circumstance. So you're going to be playing a lot of 6 stack games against a lot of 6 stacks. So what this means is that the best way to play the game and rank up now, especially, is to run in a 6 stack with people that people that you play with a lot, people that what characters they play, and that that you work well together. That's going to be the best way to play, because almost every other 6-stack, statistically speaking, is going to be looking for group 6-stacks that are just going to be a random amalgamation of people who have never played before. And, you know, yeah, sure, you have 2 people who queue up for tank, but they might just pick Zarya Roadhog, which is not a good combination at all. Or, you know, something that just doesn't work for that map. Maybe it's a payload and you have, you know, Orisa and Winston, and, you know, they might not always be the best duo to go up together. But at least you'll have 2 people that pick tank. But with the looking for group feature, there's going to be, you know, a lot of inconsistencies. Typically, one group is going to be better than another, just like matchmaking. It's going to be very similar in that fashion. But also, not all of these looking for groups are going to be the same. Not all of them are going to require a mic. Not all of them are going to lock people in to the role that they queued up for within that group. So a team that knows how to play well together is automatically going to have an advantage in more fights, because there's going to be a lot more 6-stacks out there of just hodgepodge people in the looking for group system. So if you've always 6-stacked before, you're going to have an even much better time now, because beforehand you would most likely go up against other 6 and other 5-stacks, but those would also typically be people that have played together at least more than once. Now, looking for group feature, if you want to play as a 6-stack, you can every single time, and that eliminates some headaches. And even the losses, like, you may not win more often than you did before, but those losses will be a lot easier to swallow. It'll be more of those games like, all right, guys, you know, we tried. They're just, you know, their Tracer was really good, or their tank duo was really good, and they just outplayed us. Those are the kind of losses that you'll get much more often. They might feel a much more fair, even if you do get stomped in a similar fashion, and if you didn't have a good composition, as our team right here is just steamrolling. But these weren't 6-stacks. It's just another random game out there. So just went a little too deep. Wanted to get that mercy, and I pay for it with my second and last death of the game. But this feature, a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for, and it definitely mitigates a lot of the headaches in certain areas, as I've mentioned. If you queue up to have 2 healers and you lock people to those positions, you will always have 2 healers. Maybe they pick, you know, Lucio and Zen, and that's like, ugh, we need a Mercy, or, you know, we need a Moira, we need a main healer. Those are still headaches that you are still going to have. Yes, maybe you'll have 2 tanks, but if it's Zarya Hog, those aren't going to help you nearly as much as if you had a tank duo that worked well together. So things aren't going to be perfect, but there are going to be a lot of more mitigating factors into, you know, you don't have to worry about people playing quadruple DPS if they're locked into their roles. So that in that of itself is just going to make matchmaking and competitive, or even quick play, because you can queue up for anything and you're looking for group. Win or lose, they're just going to be better experiences, and you're going to have more competitive matches. Even if you lose, they're going to be more competitive, just from a statistical standpoint, just because you're more likely to have 2-2-2, or, you know, whatever type of team that you're looking for. So, you know, even when you lose, they aren't going to be, and even if you get destroyed, it's not going to be as frustrating. So that aspect of it is quite nice, and it feels like a completely different way to play the game. And even if you're, let's say, even if you're like high diamond or low masters, so there's still plenty of people to play with you, and you like make them lock into 2-2-2, and you make them have a mic, you'll still find a group fairly quickly, and you'll still have a relatively better time than you will have just solo queue or duo queue matchmaking. So that is really, really nice. And that's kind of the least that we can expect and ask for. And overall, we might have a much better experience. Yes, we still will have toxic players. We'll still have people who pick McCree no matter what and never get any kills. And, you know, people picking terrible DPS or bad tank duos, or not picking main healer. But that's kind of softened a little bit and will happen a little less often. So that's really nice. and I'm looking forward to using this group feature a lot more, and hopefully this enables people to get used to playing with 222 a lot more often, used to playing and communicating more often and making call outs, and, you know, hopefully grouping up with people outside of the looking for group more often because they feel more comfortable and then they know that it is doable and the game can reward you for it. So let me know what you guys think about the new looking for group feature and how it's affected the gameplay in this short amount of time for you, and I'll catch you all next time.